just like to tell you a wee bit about some of the creative work that was undertaken during the project. So I mentioned earlier about the mapping, which we did with people coming into the shop as a continuous part of the project. But also we went out and worked specifically with some of the children from Royal Mile School. And the maps are all on display upstairs, so you can have a good look through them yourself later. But I think one of the important things from the mapping, particularly from doing the mapping with the children, was it was so refreshing to see these children have such a huge understanding of the environment that they live in, and obviously really benefit from going to school in the Canongate. They have history surrounding them, and it really gets into their bones. They understand what's important. They understand what makes the place work. As well as asking them to draw maps showing some of their favourite places and the different routes they take getting to and from school. We also asked them what they liked and what they didn't like about this area. And they gave very intuitive reactions about the green spaces that worked and the ones that are maybe a bit neglected. But the green spaces came through quite a lot. The other thing, particularly with working with one of the older classes in the school, was we suggested to them, if there was an endless pot of money and it was up to you, what would you like to see happening in this area, what kind of facilities? And they came up with some really good ideas, but most amazing for me was the first child that put her hand up said, rehab facilities for the homeless. And it just made you realise that whilst they see problems in their community, their response isn't to get rid of them, their response is to try and help. As well as the mapping, I was also quite involved with the banner group, which the main input was from women of banners from over the years, from trades banners to guilds, different trades guilds, and various protest banners, and banners and information about the Women's Suffrage March, which the centenary is this year. And that was very inspiring for us, and we came back and did a lot of work doing photographs and exploring some of the key things. Again, green spaces came up, and we've tried to reflect that in the banner. The banner, as you can see, is an ongoing project, and if anybody would like to help us complete the banner, then please come and speak to me afterwards. And then one of the other key pieces of sort of creative work, I think, really was the cuboid. Cuboid are a group of artists who have a particular interest in the way public spaces are used and have done a number of projects around that theme. We first met them when we did the street party in 2006, and they came along with a booth and encouraged some of the younger people to graffiti it and express themselves. And they were more than happy to come back and work with us when we had the shop. They constructed another booth which allowed us to go out on the streets and take effectively a mobile shop out, where we could gather more information, encourage people to fill out questionnaires and do maps, and also distribute information about the project and the programme of events. In addition to this, they created a graphic magazine using photographs and artwork that was ongoing in the shop, and some writing that had come from the blog, which Sally maintains and keeps everybody up to date with.
Don't know who maintains it.
Well, there's a couple of people involved, I think. So there was extracts of that, and it was quite an amusing graphic interpretation of all the stuff that's going on. And then finally, they put together a performance piece using a lot of waste material that we'd found in the area, rubbish, and along with volunteers and local musicians and other local people, put on a performance which was really showing the battle between the resistance, which I suppose in some way is us, and the developer, and the way that the developer gobbles up big pieces of land. I think, as far as you'll have a copy of the key findings, which Katrina's referred to, and we'd like your feedback on. some of the issues that came up through the creative work as well as through the other things that Sally has mentioned were the issues about housing. And I think one of the main characteristics of the Canongate is that it's always had a residential character about it. And that has changed a lot in recent years. In producing the report, we also did a lot of research in looking at facts and figures about the number of HMOs, the number of vacant second homes, the amount of homes that are used as holiday houses, the problems in the way that housing allocations are, the size of houses in different areas, and the amount of houses that there are, because a lot of houses have obviously been lost through right to buy. All of that information is encapsulated in the report, and I'm sure when it goes live you'll be able to find out a bit more about it. The other issues that you'll see from this are that there is a desperate need for more community facilities. We've lost a lot of community facilities recently. We've lost the St Anne's Community Centre, we've lost the Dummy Dykes IT Centre. There is a lack of good play space for our children, and a lack of facilities for both children and older members in the community as a place to meet. This is one of the things that the shop was invaluable about, really highlighted, and people really appreciated having a space where they could come together. The other things are in here, I'll just let you sort of peruse over, and I'm sure you can give us some feedback later. But within the action points, I mean, and where we go next, there are a number of routes that we're interested in pursuing. But there are some very immediate problems. People are aware that there is a financial crisis going on. A lot of people are not aware that there is actually a bond in place. At the time that the bus depot was demolished, and there was a lot of opposition to the bus depot being demolished, not because people desperately wanted to keep it, but they were scared that it would be left a big gap site, that we would be left with a huge gap site again. And we were assured that that wouldn't happen because a £100,000 bond was to be put in place. And if development didn't occur within 3 months of the site being cleared and all the archaeology being done, which is where it is now, that money could be drawn down to allow for a temporary landscaping scheme. And I think, you know, this side, and that money could be drawn down now. I think that's really all I want to say. Some of the work, some of the film work that's been done into a short film, which I would like, yes, BT, I would like to show you.
Save our Canongate, build us affordable houses which are family orientated, with gardens and not hotels. We've got enough. Thank you.
This development needs to be stopped. Nobody disagrees that this area needs to be regenerated, but the plans that have been put forward are pretty poor on many levels. The demolition of historic buildings, buried land, modern architecture which won't fit in with what's existing.
I don't see that there's a need or demand for what's there. It's principally that it's just incredibly ugly and it's going to destroy a lot of beautiful landscapes and views of Edinburgh.
This area we're really having a close-knit community in this area. I think building more offices and restaurants and bars don't bring this area down. So really what we need is family homes.
Object to the whole Bolton Gate development because I think it's going to destroy a very important historic resource for our city. I also think it does nothing to improve people's lives in the city. There's no housing for ordinary people, there's not enough housing for ordinary people. It's basically, I think it's an environmental disaster in fact.
I'd like to see this development being rethought from the start with community involvement. I think this